So, welcome back to the White Desk, man. And yeah, looks like we're going to have an interesting episode today. This is just it's not a series about anything, this is just sharing something I got online, eBay. Firstly, just want to say that this desk here may not be part of these videos anymore sometime soon. I'll see how that goes anyway. But yeah, let's get to it. It's going to be an interesting one. Probably much like Gregola Productions' Alarming Antiques Episode 1, in which he had a big box of movements, and two boxes actually, movements and stuff, and I have that as well. So yeah, may as well do a video on them. So yeah, let's start with probably the worst stuff and then get better, I think. Alright, so this basically is like the bane of Westclox pretty much, and it's a really bad example of a 1969 aluminium Baby Ben movement, or Big Ben, I don't know. I don't know if they started using the same movement by then. I think they probably did. But anyway, this is a Baby Ben or Big Ben or anything movement, actually, because it's got the pull on the back. It might even be a jock movement. I don't know if you've seen the jock series. I think I'm probably taking it off now. I can't remember if I did or not. But if I haven't, it's on my channel somewhere. But as you can see, this is purely for parts. There's literally nothing holding this together except for, don't know, willpower probably. Oh, this alarm knob. And I'm going to use this movement as a sort of practice to get the knobs off this, because I will be doing, hopefully if all goes to plan, a special event in which I might need to remove the knobs off one of these movements. So yeah, I'll leave that aside and then probably do another video after this one just about getting that knob off. Hopefully it can be done. I've tried before on those movements but without any luck, so I'll just try again. I don't know the best technique still. I keep using the double pliers method. It's probably a better one. I mean, there are vices and everything like that you can pull off with, but at the moment all I've got is pliers, and I am actually thinking about getting some handheld clamps, but I don't know if there's much room for them on this, but that'd be good anyway to have. So let's carry on. We have here a complete version with a bell. This is definitely not from a Ben. I don't know what this is from. Pull back, bell inside. Maybe it's from a Guardian Mustard. I don't know. Who knows? But it probably would be. There's no date on it, as a lot of them didn't have dates. It's got these plastic things here. Maybe it's not from a Mustard. It's from something, definitely. A very late Westclox, probably from the 70s. Plastic parts, pretty much all around. Yeah, even the escape wheel's plastic. Everything that's not plastic is the plates, the bell, well of course you wouldn't have a plastic bell, and the pallets and the balance wheel. But yeah, everything else inside there is made of nylon or something. I mean, they're perfectly fine to use, it's just, you know, metal's better for clocks really. Next up we have yet another little round movement. This is probably from a Baby Ben, just by looking at it. It's got the button on top, it's got a hammer to hit a bell on the outside, which will be the back of the Baby Ben, and it's got a single key, so it's either from a Baby Ben or a very late Big Ben. You can see that it runs but sort of jumps, and I have looked at these before but I haven't explain them. Yeah, it's sort of jumpy. I don't know why that is. No date stamp on it. It does say S10 for some reason. Don't know what that means. By the way, I'm doing this video in a way that makes it look like I'm dubbing over the top, but actually I'm not. So maybe I need to sort of change stuff up a little bit. Alright, let's change the presenting style of this video. Look at these movements. What we got in here? Alright, let's talk about this one. Now this is a Big Ben repeater. There will be a video on something like this very soon. So I know it's a bit freaky looking, but it's yet to come. I mean, that's pretty much it with the Baby Bens and stuff. And next we've got some 66s. Everyone's favourite Westclox movement. This one's got a bell on it. It's from December 62. Yeah, the hairspring's completely mangled. So that will require some work, but it looks like it's all complete. Well, the springs are a bit... No. It looks like it's complete anyway. And if you look at this, it's got the normal cheese wheel. Why am I saying that? I know there are some in here without that. I don't know why I picked this one up first. Hang on a minute. This is what I'm trying to talk about. This is another 66, but instead of having the normal cheese wheel, it's got like the Style 7 kind of thing in it, which means it has that hand in the middle instead of the alarm hand on a little dial. Don't see many of these movements, but I don't know what clock this would have come out of. One of those, I think it's this one, would have gone with this dial, which is Good Morning, I think, non-luminous one. You don't see many of them either, to be honest, mostly luminous. Yeah, also got some bells and keys. So yeah, next up, a very, very interesting 66. Now this is a specialised version of the 66 movement, because it's got a button top alarm, and I think that means it could come from either the Lark or a Kestrel, which were like special alarms. Kestrel looked like a spur, the Lark looked like don't know what it looked like, to be honest. It looked like I've got one actually. There'll be a series on this in the future. But yeah, it's got this button top system which needs to be sorted out because this one doesn't work properly. Oh yeah, date. What's the date on this? Can't find it. Oh wait, it's under there, under the pillar. It's 359, I think, 1959. And we got that. Another 66. All of these are parts, by the way. I mean, I don't have any clocks with missing movements except one. So these I'm not going to take these apart, but they're going to be a resource for parts, like wheels and everything. Particularly those little spring clicks, which always go missing for some reason. And yeah, these are going to be really nice to have around to make the best out of everything. So yeah, I think that's that, pretty much with those movements. And last of all, I'll get this box out of the way. Goodbye box. Look at that, by the way. Spread them out. Yeah. We got this, which is very interesting in a way, and I will show you why in a second. But first, I just remembered something, which I forgot to go over. Oh my goodness, is what's wrong with these. Alright, this brass Ben has a severe problem with it. Anyone know what that is? It doesn't run for one thing, but that's because the escape wheel is completely destroyed. It's like it's all bent. The shaft's bent, and the pinion pins are bent as well. Unfortunately, I don't have a spare escape wheel, so it'll probably be from one of these, unless I can manage to fix that one. But yeah, I don't plan on using this movement in anything anytime soon, because I don't have a Big Ben without a movement at the moment. This one has another hairspring problem. In fact, the actual balance wheel's not in its place. I can sort that out in a second. This one's running fine, actually. Definitely needs a service, all of these do, but yeah, it's actually running fine. This one, spring problem, and otherwise it should be fine, I think. Yeah, it looks like it would run if the spring wasn't all like mangled. This one, hairspring broken, 1262 December. That's the good morning one. I'm thinking about doing something pretty interesting at the end of this video because it's only been 10 minutes. These ones, this one, oh yeah, this one could run, but the spring's stuck for some reason. It doesn't want to turn. No idea why that is. I'll have to probably take this thing apart, but I think everything else is in good condition. So it'll be quite interesting to see one with a bell inside. I don't know what this would have come out of. Then we got a another one, and this one has oh yeah, it's got a weird piece of paper flapping around. It's like wrapped around the balance wheel. So yeah, that's a bit weird. But what's interesting about this movement? It's a baby Ben sized movement, but it's actually got a repeater on it. And I don't think they made baby Ben repeaters. So maybe we can make our own. I don't know. That'd be pretty funny. But yeah, you can see this plastic thing. That's actually the repeat cam, and they must have worked out a way to make a repeater in this small compared to sticking this thing on it like they did with the Big Ben. So yeah, interesting stuff. Also, I've noticed there's a massive bend in the plates where the balance wheel is. I don't know what that's about. And this, of course, is parts. So, two things left to do. One, find out what this is. And number two, I'll just bring that now in a second. Alright, so, what do we have here? Well, we got this. And this is an empty case of a Zobo alarm clock, which is made in Hong Kong, I think. Doesn't say on the back. This as well. And these were made to fit a particular movement. It was like an aluminium version of the 66 in the 70s. Maybe 60s as well. I can't remember. And it was a really cheapened down version. I think it was riveted together as well. But interestingly, they actually kept the same dimensions as the original 66. So if we take this movement and put it in here, you can see that it actually fits like perfectly. The only difference is that the regulator slot is up here instead of down here. But as we've got a whole load of caseless movements right here, and we have a very similar movementless case, I'm thinking about taking this movement. Now, I don't know if this is ridiculous or not, but taking this movement, somehow flipping that around. I know it's riveted on, but I think I know a way of doing it. Flipping that around, flipping the hairspring around on the collar so it still works properly, and putting it inside this case, which is basically a copy of a sleep meter. Not the American, North American sleep meters. I'm talking about the Scottish sleep meters, which I haven't seen them anywhere else called sleep meter. I don't think. Maybe they were? I can't remember. But yeah, they had this same case design. You can see how much I'm struggling to put this in. Why is this not going in? There we go. I'm getting this dial on it or something. And look, brand new clock. Let's just get a... making something out of nothing. This is the original bezel, I think. I don't know what's not going in. Is the face too big? No, the face is fine. This is bent, I think. But yeah. Come on. There we go. Yeah. So look at that. Brand new alarm clock right here. Totally good. Complete new model. What should we call it? I don't know. Any ideas? Looks a bit silly, doesn't it? So yeah, that can go over there. Probably never to see the light of day again. The other thing I've got to have is here. This is a Good Morning, a luminous one, which is what that dial's from. I don't think they put those dials on anything else. But yeah, that's the case it would have come with. Very similar, but with a different base. Second to last thing is this. this is a lark, a Westclox lark, and you can see there's something wrong with it. Basically I put a skeleton of a movement in there because I've been waiting on this, and I think that this movement is what would have been in here originally, and the thing I'm missing, oop, there goes my thumb, the thing I'm missing is the alarm hand and the hour hand. The hour hand that's on there is not original. I think it will fit anyway, but I need some luminous hands for it and some glass. But other than that, the most important thing, the movement, yeah, because there's nothing in here at the moment. It's literally just it's like a ghost movement. But I think that we can make a working lark, which is a rare model actually. It's definitely not a common model. In this case, I mean, this blue colour of a lark this blue colour on any clock is pretty strange. I mean, it's common at the time, but it's still a weird colour. But yeah, this lark is an unusual clock, but I've never seen one in this colour, so we'll have like double unusual. Probably quite sellable, I think, but I'll probably keep this because it's cool. So yeah, we got that movement. I still have somewhere in here, there we go, the original stop button on the top, so if that can go in there, like that, and I can't remember to put this back together. This movement, which will fit, hopefully, let's see, like that. Now that button actually fits in a little hole somewhere. Wait a minute, I need to turn the light on. Needs to get in that hole. What can I use? There we go. Right, that movement goes in there. You can see this button. I'll light off again. This button should work as the alarm stopper, which I think it does. Nick the alarm hand wheel off there. Put this on. Get some hands, and then no, I didn't think this hour hand was right. Then we'll have a working lark, which will be a real achievement. I mean, this button is a thing in itself. It really is. So yeah, that'll be a great project, and that'll definitely be a series at some point, resurrecting that thing. And one of the weirder models from here. So yeah, interesting stuff all around. And one last thing, which I know you've all been aching to see and probably skipping the video or something, is this. I am at a loss to what this is, to be honest. It looks like a Style 7 Big Ben, which it probably is based on somewhat. I mean, look at them, they're the same, really. Apart from the, well, nothing, it's the same. Same shape, same design, same everything, except the dial. But yeah, that's that. Much lighter though. This is made out of much thinner and much cheaper stuff, plastic base. I think it's from the 70s or 80s probably. Made in Brazil though, which is really interesting. I've never seen a Brazilian made clock before, and this will be my first one. But what's even more interesting, I think, is what's on the back here. And if you look, you can see that this has a 66 movement in it. There's a similarity there with the arrangement of knobs, and that makes me think this has a particular kind of movement which I haven't seen in a long time, and I haven't opened this up yet. I've been waiting to do it, all excited and everything. Hopefully it comes apart all quite. This actually works apart from the hand, which I need to put back on. This actually works fine, as the eBay seller said. But yeah, I want to see what movement this has inside, because if it's what I think it is, then that will be very interesting. plastic knobs here. Not a good sign for a alarm clock collector to see plastic parts on the outside. Oh dear, what is that? Alright, thin bell. What is this? Absolute madness. It's completely plastic. That's why it's so light. This is like, what is this? I don't like it, whatever it is. I know it's plastic, but it's just like, why did you do that, you know? It's like a Style 9. Style 9 66? Probably. Where did this hand come from? Hang on a minute. Where did this hand come from? That's cool. These hands go missing all the time. If that came off one of these movements, that would be brilliant. I can stick it on there. Absolutely spectacular. Look at that. That saved me a lot of time. Those alarm hands of any alarm clock, when they go missing, they're impossible to replace, pretty much. Yeah, that is an achievement right there. That finding that on the table. I think it's in the slot. Hopefully, it hasn't fallen off something else. But yeah, this is a monstrosity. I mean, for its time, it's probably fine. This is probably a bit later then. This is probably 80s. The definition of disposable alarm clock right here. I mean, it's quite big. It is a jumbo. I'd probably say they can fit their weird aluminium 66 inside of it. I don't know who made this. It says Eska on the front, a brand I've not heard of in my entire life. Maybe someone here knows. Okay, got a hole in the bottom for something, and also I've noticed the same hole in the bottom of the bell. You know what else had that? The Sculptura, the Big Ben Sculptura. Very interesting. Maybe I could make this into a Sculptura. I don't know, that would look awful, but it's probably possible. The Sculptura would look better with a round bezel of this, wouldn't it? Style 7 Sculptura. Anyway, I've got a clip here, much like the Style 8s. Definitely. Oh, is this even meant to come out like that? I'd have thought so. Yeah, it looks like it. Alright. That came off. Doubt I'll be able to get that back in again. It's quite the long video, guys. This is just this is cheap. Right, we've got this bezel, which is made out of the cheapest metal imaginable. And this is not plastic. I mean, plastic's not a bad material. It's just like, you know. Plastic lens, as expected, which will probably fit on. No, it wouldn't fit on there. I'm going to keep this one anyway. Very Style 9 looking dial. Hands, which feel like the gears are stripped. Where did that go? Alarm hand. Love how I can just pull these up on the fingers. Oh. Shush. Right, I'm just going to find that hand which went somewhere. Got it. As we were. Yeah, this is. Oh, why is it doing that? There's no knob to turn the alarm off, is there? I'll just move the hand. Right, yeah. How is this put together? Okay. Alright, that is a very clean looking, bent up movement. And I'm so happy to see this, to be honest, because this is. Actually, it's not the same. It's a very similar movement to the Westclox cheap 66 movement. What does it say on here? If it says a Westclox, I'm going to go mad. It says Brazil, Relogius Brazil. What does that mean? Brazilian clocks, I think? I don't know. Yeah, this is bent tabs, of course, bent tabs. Looks like it's, although the screws on the front, aren't they? Yeah, I want to see if this is riveted together or not, because if it's not, this is actually somewhat. Shush. This is somewhat decent. I mean, I know it's not, but if it's time, no date stamp on it. I can't see. It looks like it's pretty decent. Oh wait, there is a date stamp right there, although it's stamped super badly. Unless it's on the other side, I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to dig into this a bit deeper. So where's my tab bender? A tab bender. Alright, these are thin tabs. I don't like bending tabs. I never bend a tab. You won't catch me bending a tab, that's for sure. Well, I'm bending them now, but I mean, I'm unbending them. I would never bend a tab, because that's just, nah. So let's see this amazing quality. I mean, surprised these tabs haven't snapped off. Right, what's Brazil got for me? Very plasticky. It's got cheese wheel on it, that's one thing. And yeah, this is basically a really cheap 66, super lightweight. I can probably throw this across the room and I wouldn't even feel it. Let's compare it to a real 66. Oh, roasted. So yeah, wrong way around. Actually, let's. Oh no, this is the right one. Hold it by the spring. Yeah, it's the same movement pretty much. It's just been really, really cheap. I mean, the pivot holes are in the same place. The only thing that's different is the material and the shape of the cutouts in the plates. This one has a click more similar to the America, which is an older movement. But yeah, it's still got the thing, and it's screwed together, which is, you know, it's pretty nice to see. So yeah, I will service this because I can on a series, and it'll be like, oh, you know, this is never meant to be. Although they put screws on it, which is one thing. I mean, I thought these were riveted together, which makes me think I'm hoping that the ones I had before, in that case over there, the equity movements made in Hong Kong, I hope they were riveted together. Because if they weren't, I actually, you know, harvested the springs. This is a few years ago, before I knew what I was doing, really. Harvested the springs out of them, and then sold the movements on the Steampunk on eBay. So yeah, not a good way for a movement to go. However, if they were riveted together, that's fine, because I wouldn't have been able to service them anyway. And they would have been truly, you know, goners. This is interesting. It's like gold. I know it's not gold, but it's the metal you see on what is that? It's like cheap bicycles are made out of it or something. It's like I can't remember what I've seen it on. So many things. You know, open up any tape recorder or something. Tape recorder? Any modern electronic device, and there's going to be stuff made out of that. But yeah, I guess it does its job as a cheap movement. Two-spec balance. What is that? Is that a ruby or something? Oh, that's just a. That is the hairspring collar. It's made out of bright red plastic. Maybe. How is this doing? Oh, it's actually pinned in. Wow, I was surprised at that. Okay, then I think the Hong Kong ones were actually painted on or glued on, like the like these ones. So this is actually probably a better movement than this. This being a real Westclox product. This being what I don't think is a Westclox product. Yeah, no jewels. You don't say. You've got completely plastic pallets on there. Even the pins are plastic. The only thing that's not is the alarm. From this side, it looks actually that I know I keep talking about this movement. That alarm escape wheel there with the lantern pinion on it is very similar to a real. I'm calling this a fake movement. It's a real movement. It's just like a really cheap version. Actually, very similar to the older ones. So yeah, the preserved part, the alarm escape wheel. No date stamps I can see, I'm afraid. I was hoping I would, because I'd love to know more about this. I mean, I've never seen a Brazilian clock in my life until now. It looks like there was a date stamp there, it just hasn't been stamped very well. It's either that or it was stamped on the inside. Let me just get a quick eyelash at it. No, it's stamped on the outside just really weakly. It looks like there's a number 6 and a number 9. It's a bit too cheap for 1969, I think. I don't know. But yeah, that's that. I'll put it back together in my own time. Don't like that. So we got loads of movements. Well, I got loads of movements anyway. 4 66s, 4 style 8 movements, one of which is irreparable, being this one. I mean, look at that. And this will bloom several videos. One being, I might as well do a video of me attempting to remove those knobs. It might be useful to someone, especially me. There'll be a video of servicing this thing, for one thing. That is going to be a real feast for the eyes. There'll probably be a video about there'll definitely be a video about getting this thing back together. And unless anyone objects in the comments, quick, right now, I know I'm making any comments, please subscribe. I will be making this a thing. At least until I can find... You know what? I think that's going a bit too far. I'm stretching these Westclox a little bit. I'm not going to do that. And I apologise, Good Morning Movement, for even thinking about putting you in that little blue case there, which completely doesn't match. Instead, I will keep the dial on there and wait until I find an old Good Morning that doesn't work. That'll be a much better use of Westclox resources. Let's get this out of here as soon as possible. This wants to break out. I know it does. I would. See, we've got a plastic thing holding this. Yeah, this is what would have been in here. And actually, I'll tell you what. If I can get this bezel off. Yeah, hang on a minute. These bezels really like to cling. There we go. This is a movement that probably actually would have been... This is the kind of movement that was in these things. Like that. Why is it not fitting? Knobs are too big. Oh, knobs are too big. Why did I say that? That's a bit naughty. Yeah. Would have had that kind of movement with nailed metal knobs like this one. So yeah, bells. Put these on there. I might upload my hammer 66 Scottish Hammer Theory poster thing at some point to help find out which movements these bells belong to. I think I'm pretty proud of that. It's my resource I created myself. Hopefully someone else hasn't done it before me. It's like a documentation of all the different hammer styles these movements use, because you can see, for example, and here's the point where they're actually all the same and there's no point talking about. Yeah, these hammers are slightly different, and the bells are slightly different. Where's the other 66? I thought I had another one. Maybe I don't. Where is it? Oh, it's over here. Okay, no, it is the same. Yeah, some of them had... Hang on a minute. 1, 2, 3. There is one. Oh no, it's in the lark. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that hammer's different.